Hey guys, today we're going to learn how to add, subtract, and simplify rational expressions. So first, before we start, we need to understand what a rational expression is. A rational expression is simply a quotient of two polynomials, or in other words, it is a fraction whose numerator and denominator are both polynomials. Alright, so let's get straight into it. Here we have 6 over x plus 5 over x squared, and what we want to do is we want to make this into one fraction. So as we do with normal numbers or normal fractions, what we have to do is we have to find a common denominator. So here our common denominator would be x squared because x can go into x squared and x squared can go into x squared. So to do this, what we have to make both the denominators equal, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to change this into an x squared because this is already x squared. So to bring this to x squared, what we have to do is multiply by x. So we're going to multiply this by x, and whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So you're multiplying 6 by x2, so you get 6x. Now you just combine the terms, so you have 6x over x squared plus 5 over x squared. Then you keep the denominator the same, so x squared. And then 6x plus 5. Oh, my bad. 6x plus 5. And here's your answer. All right, so next we're going to subtract rational functions. So here we have x minus 5 over 7 minus x plus 3 over 4. So what I like to do is I like to make this a positive sign and then change this to a negative sign. It's basically the same thing. So now what we want to do is we want to find a common denominator between 7 and 4. So 7 times 4 is 28. So we're going to get 28 plus 28. Okay, so now since we multiplied this side by 4 to get 28, because we had 7, we're going to, whatever we do on the bottom, we do on the top. So we're going to multiply by 4 on the top. And same thing here, we multiplied this 4 by 7 to get 28. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to multiply 7 on the top of this side. So since we multiply by 7 and then there's a negative, it's going to be multiplied by negative 7. And then x plus 3. So then what we're going to do is we're going to distribute. So 4 times x is 4x, and then 4 times negative 5 is minus 20 over 28. And then we have plus, so then we have negative 7x, and then negative 7 times positive 3 is minus 21 over 28. So then finally, what we can do is we just combine the terms. So our common denominator is 28. Now 4x minus 7, well 4x plus minus 7x is minus 3x. And then minus 20 plus minus 21, so basically minus 20 minus 21 is minus 41. So this would be your answer. Next we have 2 over x plus 8 plus 1 over x minus 8. So now these two denominators, they look very similar, but they're not the same. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to find a common factor or a common multiple, and that common multiple is just gonna be x plus 8 times x minus 8. And you don't have to multiply this out; you can just leave it how it is. So we got x plus 8 and times x minus 8. And then on both sides, we got and what we did to this side was we multiplied it by x minus 8. So that's what we're going to do here. So we got x minus 8 on the top times 2. And then we got on this side we did x plus 8. X plus 8. So now we just distribute like last time. Let me get more space. So we get x minus 8 times 2. Well, 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times minus 8 is minus 16. Let me make that x better. So minus 16. And then we got over x plus 8, x minus 8. And then we got x plus 8 because it's just being multiplied by 1. So then what we do is we combine like usual. That's x plus 8. And now we just combine. So we have 2x plus x is 3x. And minus 16 plus 8 is just minus 8. So we have 3x minus 8, x plus 8, x minus 8. And again, you don't have to factor this out, so this is your final answer. Or I mean, multiply it out. Alright, so here we have something that looks a bit more complicated, but it really isn't. So we have x over x squared plus 9x plus 20 minus 4 over x squared plus 7x plus 12. So again, what I do is I like to turn this into addition sign and then this subtraction. And this negative only really applies to the top. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna factor these two to find out its factors, basically. So we have x over the what adds up to 9 and multiplies to 20. Well, that's positive 5 and positive 4. So we have x plus 5 and x plus 4. Now, if you need a refresher, I have a video on factoring, so you can go check that out. And on this side, we have x squared plus 7x plus 12. So what multiplies to 12 and what adds to 7? Well, that's just 3 and 4, so both positive. So x plus 3 and x plus 4. So now we need to find a common denominator between these two. And let me get a bit more space. Okay, so we can see here that here we have an x plus 5 and an x plus 4 and an x plus 3 and an x plus 4. Well, between these two, we have a common denominator of x plus 4. So we can forget about that. But these both sides, this side needs the x plus 5 and this side needs the x plus 3. So we're going to multiply it like that. We're going to end up with x plus 5, x plus 4, and x plus 3 on this side. On both sides, actually. And since we multiplied this side by x plus 3, like this, we're going to have to distribute it out. So we have x times x, which is x squared. And then we have x plus 3, or x times plus 3, which is 3x. And on this other side, what we did was we multiplied it by positive 5, or x plus positive 5. So we end up with this bottom. Let me just copy this. We end up with this bottom, this x plus 5, x plus 4, x plus 3. And since we multiplied this side by x plus 5, we just have to distribute that out. So negative 4 times x is minus 4x. And minus 4 times positive 5 is minus 20. And now what we're going to do is we are going to just add these together simply. Let me get more space again. Okay. So x squared, there's no x squared on this side, so that's going to be a term. Now we have a x term on both sides. So 3x plus negative 4, which is just negative x, and then minus 20. And then what we're going to do is we just take our previous denominator, just paste it down there like this. And there we go. Now what we can do is we can further simplify this. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. Now we're going to segue into simplifying rational expressions. So now to simplify this, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to factor our top term. Now what we can do here is what multiplies to, or what adds up to -1 and multiplies to -20. Well, that's just x minus 5, or -5 and +4. So we get x minus 5 and x plus 4 over, we have x plus 5, x plus 4, and x plus 3 as our denominator. So these two are equal. Now, what we can do to simplify is we can cancel out the common factor, or the similar factors. So we have x plus 4 down here, and we have x plus 4 up here. So we can cancel this out because we're multiplying by x plus 4, and then we're dividing by it. So we're doing the opposite operations. So that means that we're left with x minus 5 over x plus 5 times x plus 3. And this right here is our simplified final answer. All right, so let's simplify this expression. 35 times x to the 5th over 45 times x to the 3rd. So what we can do is, like we did in the last example, we factored. Now, here we can find a common factor between these two numbers. 5 goes into 35 and 5 goes into 45. Well, how many times does 5 go into 35? Well, that's 7. And how many times does 5 go into 45? That's 9 times. Now, we have x to the 5th over x to the 3rd. Well, like we learned in a previous video, we know that a number to the exponent over a number to another exponent is just the number, and then subtracting the exponents. So we have x to the 5 minus 3. Well, 5 minus 3 is just 2. And since it's in the top, we're going to leave it in the top because it's positive. The outcome of 5 minus 3 is positive, so we leave it in the top. And we leave the denominator like this. So our answer is 7x squared over 9. This is our final answer. For our last example, we have 81 x to the 8th, y to the 7th, over 108 x to the 4th, y to the 3rd. Now we're going to do the exact same thing as we did last time. We're going to simplify this set, then this set, then this set, because they all have a common base or a common factor. So here we have a common factor of 9. So 9 goes into 81 9 times. So 9 over 9 goes into 108 12 times. Okay, now we use our exponent rule. X to the 8th over x to the 4th is equal to x to the 8 minus 4. So that means that we're left with 8 minus 4 is 4. So we're left with x to the 4th on the top. And our last is we have y to the 7th over y to the 3rd. And using our exponent rule again, we end up with y to the 4th. Because 7 minus 3 is 4. Now we can even simplify this again because we have a common factor between 9 and 12. So 3 goes into 9 and 3 goes into 12. So we can, how many times does 3 go into 9? Well, 3 times. And how many times does 3 go into 12? 4 times. So then we just carry on our x to the 4 and x to the and y to the 4. This is our answer. Thank you for making it to the end. If you have any questions, email me at neark15@gmail.com or ask a question in the comment below. I also run a Google Classroom with a bunch of different videos similar to the ones I posted on YouTube. And I also have worksheets paired with some of the videos where you can learn. I've also linked other resources such as videos to help you on math topics. And if you would like a video on a certain math topic, please answer in the comments below. Hope you have a good week.